What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the Type 99 sniper rifle. I'm currently in the process of gathering all the information for the new snipers as well as the old snipers. They recently just nerfed the Kar 98 and the Swiss, so we're trying to figure out what other good snipers might be options between those two. Obviously, I'm streaming right now on Twitch at twitch.tv/TrueGameDataLive. You can see my chat going off there on on the screen. But yes, today we're going to talk about the Type 99 specifically because there's some things I found out about it that I think are worth its own video. I was going to do just one big comprehensive sniper video, but instead I'm going to do a Type 99 video by itself and then continue gathering the other information for the other snipers. But this game is crazy complex. The Vanguard guns have a stupid number of attachments and multiple damage attachments that all stack and add up in different ways. So this is going to be just an insane amount of work for me at True Game Data and people that help me as well. So if you guys want to help support that, please drop a like and a comment on the video to help the algorithm. And if you want to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe so you can come back and see more. But let's get into it and we'll talk about the Type 99. So before we actually get into the Type 99 and the broken build that I found, I want to talk about this tweet. So I said earlier today that I confirmed 100% that private matches and public matches are not the same build of the game and they can have different stats. And I said I would talk about it in this video, so I want to explain what happened there. Basically, I was testing flinch, trying to get good flinch values for every sniper in the game. Like I said, I'm working on a big comprehensive sniper guide. And in testing flinch, I noticed that when I was testing in a private match, the Swiss and the Kar 98 basically felt the same as they used to in terms of flinch. If you don't know, the Swiss and the Kar just had a big flinch nerf, I think 2 days ago now, making them much less overpowered than they were before, or just really good, whichever way you view that. But anyway, testing it in a private match, I noticed that it seemed like they were the same. So I went and got into a public match and retested and found that absolutely the private match had the old values. So we know that something is different with private matches for sure. We already knew this because crawl speed was always slower in private matches. There were multiple things that were different in private matches, but now we have confirmed that one specific thing, a weapon stat, is different in a private match versus a public match. So that can be a problem, obviously, since a lot of tournaments are run in private matches. It could be a really big deal, but it also could be a small deal. We don't know how much is different, and that's part of the problem. We don't have these stats. I can't look at the stats, and if I test all of them in private matches and all of them in public matches, you guys wouldn't see me for about 5 years because it would take that long. So it could be a problem. We don't know. It's just crazy that they have different stats, and crazy that we don't have any of these stats available to us in the game. We have to test all of them. I will say that originally I did test a lot of the weapons actually in live Warzone, and then they finally released private matches and we were able to test there, and the vast majority of the numbers all lined up always. And I think some of the numbers that didn't line up were because we didn't know about next shot values at the time. We didn't know about upper and lower arm and upper and lower leg multipliers. So I think people were shooting in different places because it was like a community test that we did and found some weird values there. But I think the vast majority of data is going to be the same, but it's just really frustrating that we don't know, and we know they can be different now for sure. Okay, so let's get into the Type 99. I've tested pretty much all the snipers at this point. I'm getting close to having all the information that's really important for the website as well as videos, but I just wanted to target this specifically because I think this deserves a video. Basically, we've never had a sniper before that could do a one-shot chest shot to down somebody. And now we do. So the Type 99 with the, if you look at these different barrels, some of them have this larger one-hit kill area, which basically means, you know, it's acting like Vital basically in Vanguard, where like it made the headshot damage the same as the chest shot, or other way around. It made the chest shot the same as the headshot. So that's kind of what they're getting at here. I don't have all the actual damage values because again, there's so much to test right now that it's an absolute mess. So basically what I'm doing is I'm targeting what I think could be specific builds that could do things that are unique like this, and we did find that this is a one-shot chest shot. So with the larger one-hit kill area barrel, the 712 millimeter barrel, as well as the 8mm rounds, which say they increase your damage, they also increase bullet velocity and range, and the vital perk, which says increased torso damage. If you combine all three of those attachments, you can one-shot chest shot down someone full plate. I didn't test it out like to infinity. I tested it out to 130 meters, which is pretty long range. But this is crazy. We've never had this before. This is like, it's balanced because the gun is really slow to ADS and has really bad movement speed and bad aim sway and things like that. But Still, I think overall this is going to be massively overpowered, especially once people all know that this exists. But yeah, one shot, chest shot down. Most of the other guns are one shot, next shot when you stack all their damage attachments. This one is also a one shot, next shot with basically 2 of these 3 attachments. So that's again something that we didn't really have with the Modern Warfare or Cold War snipers. Those were mostly only headshot. I think the ZRG when it first came out was a one shot, next shot. But that has since been changed to not being a one shot, next shot. So only these new Vanguard guns are going to be one shot to the neck. And then also, specifically the Type 99, out of all of these, can actually one shot to the chest. All right, so let's talk about the recommended build. Obviously, with 10 attachments, there's a million different ways you can make these guns. So I went through, attachment by attachment and tried to pick what I thought would be the best in that slot that would make sense for the gun. Basically, we're trying to get better aiming stability, better bullet velocity, and we have to have those 3 damage attachments so we get that one shot chest shot. You want better aimed walking sway and reduce flinch if you can. I will say that none of the flinch reducing attachments actually work. I've tested flinch fully at this point, and none of the flinch attachments work for any of the Vanguard guns. They do work for the Modern Warfare guns, so the flinch perk for the Modern Warfare guns works. I will also say that the rear grip, the airborne elastic for the Cold War guns, also does not help with your flinch in any way. So only Modern Warfare guns with the perk that reduces flinch actually work for flinch. But anyway, let's get into the build here. First up, the muzzle. Basically, because it's a sniper rifle and I'm pretty sure it has infinite damage range, at least the chest shot I think has infinite damage range to get a one shot down, which means headshot will too. It doesn't matter that we reduce damage range, so between the 2 silencers, obviously you want a suppressor so you stay off the map. We don't want to hurt aim down sight time, and we don't care about damage range, so we pick the Mercury silencer over the MX silencer. And then for the barrel, obviously we use a 712mm barrel. That's for the one-shot chest shot. This one's going to be interesting. So 10x is a lot of zoom, obviously, so you don't have to use this. I'm recommending this because I noticed I was just going through these and trying them all out, and I noticed that normally this gun has terrible aimed walking sway. So like it sways like crazy as you're strafing left and right, which is actually a big deal. A lot of the time in firefight situations, you need to take a shot while you're moving. And with how much this was swaying, you couldn't do that. But for some reason, the 10x optic completely removes that. So there's almost no aimed walking sway when you have the 10x optic on there. So that's why I put it on there. Obviously, optic is personal preference. You can try any of these. I do want to mention the 3.5x rifle scope. This has no glint and pretty high zoom, so this is definitely a viable option. It should also help your aim down sight speed over the original sniper scope that comes with the gun by default. But I haven't tested that. I don't know what the actual ADS differences are yet. But I think this would be a great option as well. I'll probably try the 2 of these tonight and see which one I like more. But the 10x gives you that no aimed walking sway at all. Removed stock. So there's a few different things we're looking at here. We want aimed walking movement speed's always good. Movement speed's always good. We want to minimize that ADS time. ADS time is huge with snipers. You need to be able to ADS and get your shot off quickly. And the remove stock, I don't have the numbers yet, but it will most likely have the best ADS time just because that's pretty much how it's always been with the different games. So remove stock helps you with that movement speed, aim down sight speed, flinch resistance. Like I said, none of the attachments actually affect that, so that's not a thing that we care about. Recoil control, don't really care. It's a bolt action sniper. Accuracy, all of the sniper rifles in Vanguard have perfect accuracy with no bloom, so that's something that we don't care about. And then, like I said, the 10x optic removes all aimed walking sway. So the fact that this has negative aimed walking steadiness does not matter at all because we already basically have none because of the optic we picked. So that's why I went with the remove stock over some of the other options. As far as foregrip, heavy foregrip I thought was the best. There were a couple good options. The strife angled grip helps with aiming stability and aimed walking steadiness. Those are both good things. Again, accuracy is not needed for Vanguard snipers. But the heavy foregrip helps with recoil recovery. I believe that's how fast it recenters back to the same point. So, I mean, that's just a nice thing. It's not a big deal, but it's a nice thing to have. Aiming stability and aimed walking steadiness, just like the strife angle grip, but it has no downsides. So that's why I picked the heavy foregrip. Obviously, we need the 8mm 5-round mag. And then for ammunition, for all these snipers, you're pretty much always going to use lengthened just to get yourself the maximum bullet velocity. And speaking of bullet velocity, this build I have tested bullet velocity is actually faster than the LW3, so the Tundra from the Cold War guns. This came out about like 30 meters per second faster than the Tundra at 500 meters. That's a really long shot. Obviously, it's not a realistic shot, but I was just doing it for comparison's sake. So this has crazy good bullet velocity as well with this build. We can talk about incendiaries, again, another thing that can increase damage, but it's going to kill your bullet velocity, so probably not ever going to really use that on a sniper. Pretty much just going to stick with lengthened. And then for rear grip, there's a bunch of good options here again. Fabric grip has aim down sight speed, which is something we really want. But the leather grip has aim down sight speed as well as aiming stability. And the aiming stability is pretty bad on the Vanguard guns, so I went with the leather grip just to try to help that as much as I could. Vital, again, we need Vital in order to have that one-shot chest shot. And then Deep Breath, there's really no other perk in here besides Fully Loaded that I would recommend. Deep Breath just makes it so you can hold your breath for a lot longer when you're trying to hit those long shots. So overall, doing recommended loadout videos is going to be a nightmare with with Vanguard guns because there's so many attachments. It's going to take me 3 minutes to go through just talking about what I think you should put on there. But I think this is going to be overpowered. I'm going to try it tonight. I'm going to try the no glint version. I'm going to try the 10x version. And I'll probably try just the stock optic as well and just see what works. But overall, this gun is just insane. All right, well, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. I just want to talk about the Type 99 and this one-shot chest shot build that we have. The amount of work and effort that's going into these videos and the data behind the website is so dramatically higher with Vanguard guns that I just don't know how long it's going to take to get the data for these things, and videos are going to be more difficult for me to make. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm working like crazy. If you guys appreciate that and you appreciate what I do with True Game Data, please be sure to like the video, comment on the video, help us out with the algorithm. We're getting so close to 200,000 subscribers. I'd love to hit that in the next, I don't know, couple weeks or so. That would be amazing. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.